Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Wednesday, January 16th, 2019. This is the Gematria Effect. I'm Zachary Hubbard. Doing something a little different tonight. We're live streaming on YouTube. The word on the street is TFR is looking to move all of our programs to not only a radio broadcast, but a live stream on YouTube. So just going to try it out tonight. For the people who are tuning in on YouTube, you're only going to be able to hear me talking. You're not going to be able to hear the callers. If you want to hear the callers, you're going to have to go to tfrlive.com because the callers are just going to be right here in my headphones. And part of the reason I need to keep it so you can't hear the other end is because when we go to our commercial breaks, we got a couple 2-minute breaks here and there. There's bumper music, and that music is it violates the copyright on YouTube. So the word on the street is we're going to be losing our bumper music and just getting some generic music that'll be YouTube friendly. And once all that's in place, I'm sure we'll be ready for the callers to come through on YouTube as well. That out of the way, before we go out to the call boards, which are already filling up, if you are watching on YouTube tonight and you've never listened to my radio program before, it is a caller-friendly program. It's a caller-driven program. The majority of the show is calls, so you're definitely going to want to go to tfrlive.com. But if you want to call in, the number for the radio show on TFR is 213-233-3998. So 213-233-3998. And that is a toll-free number in the U.S. People are already calling in on the Gematria Effect line. That is not the number to call. That's my own thing. That's not the TFR show, so don't call that. Before we go out to the callers, let's just review some of the top headlines in recent days that everyone should know about. Today we had a ISIS attack in Syria, at least so we're told through the media. The comedy of this propaganda is it comes exactly 27 days after Mad Dog Mattis announced he would be resigning because of his disagreements with Trump over the Syria decision. The reason it matters that it's 27 days later is because in Gematria, Syria equals 27. And as we talked about the day Mad Dog Mattis resigned, that was 103 days after his birthday, the 27th prime number. And when Trump made the announcement about Syria, it was on his 27th week of his age. And then because of this whole debacle, we got the 27th Secretary of Defense, Mr. Shanahan, who took office on his 27th week of his age on the nose. Couldn't have been any more perfect. Showing you what a skid it is in Washington, D.C. You know, the resignation's not authentic. The policy decision's not authentic. It's proof that these people are puppets on strings. And I see people are going to be calling in on the Gematria Effect hotline all night. You guys stop calling that number. It's 213-233-3998. If you want to call in, I cannot answer the other phone right now. So that's one thing about the ISIS attack in Syria today. The other thing is this. Today's date numerology, January 16th, 2019. One of the paths is adding the day plus the month plus the year in two parts. So 1 plus 16 plus 20 plus 19, that equals 56. And ISIS, just using the alphabetic order, I is the 9th letter, S is the 19th. Do it 2 times. I plus S is 56 to go with the date numerology. And today's date numerology, if you just add it digit for digit, 1 plus 1 plus 6 plus 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 9. That equals 20. ISIS, with the alphabetic order and rules of numerology, the next most simple cipher, also sums to 20. So a very perfect day for ISIS news. And also in Syria, in light of what's already going on. And as I talked about the day Trump made this decision, I said, just watch. Pretty soon you'll see some ISIS news story by the numbers. And then they'll say, oh, well, maybe we need to put even more troops there. And it'll be just like what they did with Iraq. It's the same thing again and again. This is how history repeats itself by the numbers. And again, this doesn't just go on in the United States. This goes on worldwide. Across the pond in the UK, today there was a vote of no confidence for Theresa May, following what happened yesterday, the Brexit vote and defeat of Brexit. From Theresa May's birthday, October 1st, to today, January 16th, it is 107 days later. And if you write out no confidence and just use the alphabetic order, N's the 14th letter, O's the 15th, et cetera, no confidence sums to 107. And if you take the alphabetic order and the rules of numerology, no confidence equals 62. Theresa May is 62 right now. So 107 days after her 62nd birthday, you get this no confidence vote. Just yesterday, January 15th, can write that date 115, like 115, Theresa May got humiliated. And what's Theresa May equal with the alphabetic order? 115. Again and again, it's the same thing. Political rituals by the numbers, propaganda by the numbers, celebrity deaths by the numbers. Day after day, you apply this code, you see through the headlines, and seemingly so few people in the truth community want to apply this knowledge. They want to continue to talk about these news stories as if they're something other than a bunch of nonsense to get you caught up in the latest distraction. We could talk about the Nairobi attack by the numbers. Nairobi sums to 68. That happened yesterday on Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, who was assassinated in 68. Just think about it. What are the odds? You hear about this terrorist attack in the Black nation on the most famous Black American's birthday. Hello, New World Order. Martin Luther King Jr. killed in 68, Nairobi 68. And as I pointed out, from the end date of the 2013 terrorist attack at the Westlake Mall in Nairobi to this latest story was exactly 1,939 days later. Why does that matter, 1,939 days? It's because the segregation era ended in 1939, and MLK and Malcolm X were both killed at age 39. You know, what a coincidence. Both men were also killed on 44 dates. MLK was killed on April 4th. Malcolm X killed on a date with 44 numerology. Kill with the alphabetic orders 44. African American with the septenary ciphers 44. That's why Obama was number 44, elected 44 years after the Civil Rights Act. In our most pure cipher, the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology, civil rights equals 64. So does Barack Hussein Obama. 44 years after the Civil Rights Act is 64, you get the 44th president who ran on hope. H-O-P-E. Added up with the alphabetic order, 44. If you flip the alphabetic order around, hope equals 64 as well. And if you flip the alphabetic order around, Barack Hussein Obama equals 116. And it was this day in 2007, January 16th, a date with 44 numerology, that Obama announced he was running for the 44th presidency. Barack Hussein Obama, 116 when you flip the alphabetic order around. January 16th, he started his campaign. Again, on a date with 44 numerology. And it's the same thing with Trump. Trump's whole campaign was by the numbers, so was Hillary Clinton's. All of these politicians across the world are doing the same type of rituals. This is how the elite operate. And again, seemingly nobody in the truth community wants to talk about this, even though you can prove it every single day. You know, most people like to talk about hearsay and conspiracy nonsense where there's no evidence of it. But apparently that's, that's where the meat is in the truth community. A lot bigger following for a lot of people who just talk nonsense with no evidence. This is a real shame. We had the death of Serena Rothschild this week, the wife of Jacob Rothschild, dead at age 83. Reminds me of the year the song Murder by Numbers came out, 83. The word murder equals 83. She died at a span of 107 days from her husband's birthday. Ritual sacrifice, 107. By the way, Jacob Rothschild's born on the 119th day of the year. Orthodox equals 119. Star of David, 119. Ashkenazi Jews, 119. What a perfect birthday for Jacob Rothschild, the big Zionist. And so far, my favorite story this week is PG&E announcing that they plan to file bankruptcy and put the expense of the fires on the taxpayers of California. It's not my favorite story because it's a nice thing. It's just my favorite story because it's further evidence of why people need to understand this knowledge. From the November 8th fires to the announcement by PG&E on January 14th, that was 67 days later. Bankruptcy equals 67. 67 is the 19th prime number. PG&E equals 19. So does burn. Remember, Paradise and Los Angeles burned on November 8th. November 8th, 118. And Paradise, California equals 118. So does Los Angeles, California. Los Angeles, California is also on the 118th meridian. So there were a few other news stories this week. I guess one that really hit home was Gematria.com, the website we use and promote to do this research. It was taken down over the weekend on January 12th by a Sandy Hook activist group. They found that Derek, who built the website, who's been a frequent guest on this program, they found that his blog that's attached to the calculator, he had this older post from many months ago showing an image related to Sandy Hook, and this Sandy Hook activist group has a copyright on that image apparently, and they got the whole website shut down because he had that post up. Now, what's funny is they did this on January 12th, the date we write 112 here in the United States, and Sandy Hook with the alphabetic order equals 112. And if you look it up, there were all these headlines during the time of the shooting about Adam Lanza weighing 112 pounds. And I used to look at that before I knew Gematria. I learned Gematria just after Sandy Hook. And I was like, why are they reporting that he weighs 112 pounds? Is this meant to mock us? I mean, what grown man weighs 112 pounds? You know. And the other thing is, if you look up Adam Lanza's birthday, it's April 22nd, which is the 112th day of the year. And of course, the Sandy Hook shooting, as we now know, is synced up with the Dunblane massacre, which happened March 13th, 96, a date with 112 numerology. The Dunblane massacre was in the UK, and it got gun rights taken away in the UK. That was where a shooter targeted first graders, just like at Sandy Hook. So, taking down Gematria by the numbers on 112. What do you know? Also, in the mainstream news that day, they said there was a mass overdose in California in a town that had the same gematria as fentanyl. They said it was a mass fentanyl overdose. They said 1 dead and 12 hospitalized on January 12th. Go figure. But I've been rambling for a while now. Some of the big stories this week, the ones you should definitely know and share with your friends and family. Easy to wake people up to this knowledge if they're willing to see. That said, we're going to go out to the call board. So if you're on YouTube right now, you're going to have to go to TFRlive.com, and you'll just see in the right corner, there's a button that says listen live. If you click that, you should be tuned in, and then you'll be able to hear the callers. So I'm going to go to the caller right now. It's going to be silent on YouTube while I listen. What's up, Delaware? Hello. Just doing the show, man. What's going on? Right. Right. That Very interesting. Yeah, good decoding. I especially like the 114 connection. Don't forget, President of the United States is 114 since her remarks towards Trump. But yeah, keep up the great work. And if you want to promote your blog one more time, they got it. Truth at your door, and spell your UR. UR. That's the part they need to know. Underscore UR. Door. All right, man. You have a good night. Appreciate the call. All right, take care, man. All righty, we got about 6 minutes till the break. Let's go out to Wisconsin. It's going well. How are you? Sure. Hey, go check out Wikipedia. Wikipedia has posted who won the conference championships already for both. Yeah, check it out, man. Who do you think? Same teams I said. Yeah. Shoot, I think I got sidetracked on that. So thanks for the reminder. I will make a note. All right, appreciate it, brother. All right, take care. Yeah, you too, man. You're welcome. All right, we got 2 minutes till the break. From now on, for every caller tonight, I want to hear your opinion on this. Can the problems we see in the United States of America be solved with nonviolence? Can we overthrow this system with nonviolence? Can we change the path we're on with nonviolence? I think it's a fitting thing to talk about this week. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. He was a big advocate of nonviolence. And I've said it before. Show me something in the world that nonviolence ever solved. You know, there's a reason they want to disarm America. So I would like to hear everybody's opinion as we move through the rest of the show. You see propaganda like what's in the news tonight. Supposedly a man in Cumming, Georgia, was arrested for threatening to attack the White House. Supposedly the FBI did a sting on him. The guy's name in Gematria sums to the same thing as terrorist. And you know, they gotta reinforce that idea. Anybody who would want to attack the White House is a terrorist, a horrible person. But really, this federal government's got to go. And trust me, I'm an expert on these matters. You can say these types of things. You just can't set a date and you can't name names. I had the FBI come to my door and let me know I would have been under arrest for remarks I made sometime last year had I set a date. So I didn't set a date, so I was okay. But I think it's an important conversation. We're going to be going to the commercial break right now. We'll be back in 2 minutes. And even if you called in to talk about something else tonight, I'd just like to hear your opinion on, can we get ahead in this world with nonviolence? Be right back, Truth Seeker. We're back, Truth Seeker. We're streaming on YouTube for the first time ever tonight. If you are on YouTube, you are not going to be able to hear the callers. You have to tune into tfrlive.com to hear the callers. In the future, that'll change, but that's the way it is for tonight. All you can hear is me when I'm speaking. TFR stands for Truth Frequency Radio, tfrlive.com. We're taking calls. I know a lot of you call in to talk about whatever's on your mind, but I would like to hear people say tonight, can we solve our problems with nonviolence? Is nonviolence ever going to get us anywhere? And as for myself personally, I don't think it will. I mean, the regime that rules over us is violent. They've taken the world with violence, and I don't know any other way to undo it. It's going to take an uprising. Let's go out to East Bay. Hopefully his connection's working tonight. East Bay, are you there? If you're talking right now, I can't even hear you. Uh-oh. It might be getting worse. I have a feeling East Bay's talking and he's not even coming through. That's too bad. Wait a minute. What in the world? Yeah, he is unmuted. All right, East Bay, if you stay there, I'll come and check on you later. I can't hear you at all right now. Let's go out to Ohio. Hold on. Before you move on, what has nonviolence ever solved? Because you said violence can't be used to overthrow governments, which is a false statement. I mean, a lot of governments have been overthrown with violence. But what has nonviolence ever solved? Well, yeah, that doesn't sound like so bad to me. I'd rather be living in a violent revolt and revolution after revolution than under pure tyranny every single day. So, okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Well, it's interesting. I don't know enough about the politician or what the motive would be to have an opinion, but I mean, keep an eye on it and see what comes of it. So. Okay, well, I mean, I wouldn't suggest trying to wake up your community by predicting, the assassination of local politicians, because that's not something that happens very often, first of all. And anyway, that's my advice. Also, you can plug your YouTube channel. Perfect. All right, thanks, friend. You have a good night. So I want to talk about something he said. Right away, he went to how we can't use nonviolence, and he went to Jesus Christ and Gandhi. And of course, both of those men have a lot of gematria overlap. And I can guarantee you, Gandhi was not a good person. Look into the death of his wife. There's a good research project. You won't be surprised by what you find. But, these things were given to us by our rulers, religion and all these things to control us and control our behavior and say, oh, no, this is off limits for you. A good person doesn't do this. They want these complacent people. They want these people that think they have to live a certain way, believe a certain way, or they'll be punished. All of this stuff comes from the authorities and the rulers. And realize they use violence, to control. So what the last caller said about how violence has never overthrown a government, I'm just thinking, what in the world? I mean, that's the only thing that's ever overthrown governments. I wish there was another way, but I'd like to hear somebody call in and tell me, how we're going to get out of this situation without violence, honestly. Because I think that's what needs to happen. I think there needs to be a war. I think the manpower needs to realize, like, look, we are slaves to tyranny. We're lied to every single day. Our government screws us over every single day. We're living in this toxic world where, we have these corporations that abuse the earth and exploit the earth and the people. I mean, how long are we going to let this go on for? It's like, The last caller said, I wouldn't want to live after revolution and just, well, why not, man? I'd rather live in anarchy and revolution after revolution if it was, you know, it was people fighting for something to get to a better place than just live in this tyranny slave state every single day. But people are too comfortable here. That's what it is. Most people are just too comfortable. Yeah, okay, I'm overtaxed. But you know what? The TV's on and the Cheetos are over there and it's not so bad. I got my titty magazines here and whatever. So that's not where the last caller was coming from, but he went right to Jesus and Gandhi right away. And I'm just thinking, yeah, the things that have been given to the masses to pacify them. There's that one verse, though, in the Bible about how Jesus brought the sword. It's like, why is that in there? And then all the Christians will say, oh, that was just a mistranslation. He really meant I brought the word. It's like, that's not what it says. It says sword. Would have been easy for them to put the word in there. There's an extra S. Again, how many of these verses are mistranslated? Probably all of them. Let's go out to Pinehurst, Texas. What's up, man? What's your opinion on what I'm saying? But then it's still going on. The beast is still there. I mean, just because you're out of it doesn't mean the beast system's over. You just escaped it. So So how do you do that? Have you done it yourself? Well, for a long time. Well, I appreciate it, caller. Thank you for the input, and keep us posted on your learnings there on that subject. I'm interested. All right, you have a good night. So he's saying, there's tricks you can use to get out of the system, and it's been more than a year now. There was another caller more than a year ago. He was talking. I can't remember what his protest was. He was doing some sort of protest, and he got arrested, and he didn't have any ID on him, and they took him to jail. And he would not acknowledge his name, and he would not give them any information. Some of you might remember this call, but he was just saying, he wouldn't acknowledge his name, he wouldn't give them any information, and they held him for a number of days. And then because he would not cooperate and he would not admit anything, they finally just released him. And I mean, there is something to those tactics, but it's like, okay, so you avoided having to show up in court and get the criminal penalties, but it's not like you overcame your government. You got out of the punishment that a lot of people would go through, but you still had to sit in a jail cell for a number of days until they just got tired of you and let you go. And that's sort of like what the last caller was saying. I mean, that still doesn't get rid of the system. Just because you figure out how to slip out of the system's still in place. I'm saying that this system that goes on every single day is destroying this world, more and more. And how long are we just going to sit here, like pacifists and just say, well, my religion says that I can't be violent. I have to wait for my savior. How long is this going to go on for? How many more illegal wars are going to start? How many more forests are going to be cut down? How many more people are going to be yada, yada, yada? That doesn't need to happen. So I'm just saying, I'm taking your calls tonight. I want to hear people's solutions and what's ever been achieved with nonviolence. Can we get out of this system? Can we destroy this system without violence? I do know some other ways it could be done, but that would take mass organizing. We're going to commercial right now. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Sit tight, truth seekers. We're back, True Seeker. We got 2 hours left. This is the Gematria Effect. I'm Zachary Hubbard. If you're watching tonight on YouTube, again, you need to be tuned into TFRlive.com to hear the callers. Otherwise, you're just going to hear what I'm saying. TFRlive.com to hear the callers. This is a caller-driven show, so a lot of the show is the callers, which means there's a lot of silence if you're just watching on YouTube. And with that said, we have some of the favorite callers of the program on hold right now. Before we go out to them, just because some of you have been waiting a while, to let you know, we got New York, Idaho, Nebraska, Tennessee, California, New York, Whittier, California, Philadelphia. And if you're on hold, I'm going to get to you. So you might just have to be a little bit patient. Hold on here. Get some weird glitch because there's so many people on the call board. But there we go. Let's go out to New York City. How are you tonight? Hey, man. Another day in paradise. Right. Yeah. Yeah, they're always invited on. Dan's busy because he has a band and he works. So he was able to come on that one time, but usually the time the show's on doesn't work with his schedule. That's the problem with getting Dan on. And Derek will always ask when he wants to come on. He's been taking a break lately. He's just been focused on some other things in life. So right. Huh. I'm aware of the name. I don't know a lot about the subject, though. That's funny. Doing all right. How are you? So just so you know that I covered that story very thoroughly. That story was a big tribute to the movie Taxi Driver. Just like how in the end of the film he goes into the address 226 and shoots up the place. And Kalamazoo is where they built the taxi cabs that De Niro drives around in Taxi Driver. That's the same town that built those taxi cabs. There were so many riddles in that story. That story is a complete hoax too. Jerry, who's come on the program before, yeah, and I mean, he went into a police bar at the end of the night. I mean, the whole thing's just a joke. But yeah, big tribute to the film Taxi Driver there with that story. All right, you guys take care. All right, have a good evening. Appreciate it, man. Always great callers there. Yeah, I want to have this conversation just because I know I'm in the minority. I know that just like last caller said, that's where most people are at. All you can do in this world is like maintain your own peace, and the system's too big. He was saying that even if you tear down the federal government, you're not going to get to the people who are really responsible. But you know what? If you tear down the federal government, then you're not under their tyranny anymore, and that's my point. So let's keep it moving. A lot of people on hold. Let's go out to Idaho. Idaho, what do you think? What do you think about the question I've been asking tonight? Idaho, are you there? You've been waiting a long time. Let me try that again. Idaho, can you hear me? There we go. Idaho, I hear you. Yeah, you're on. Right. Right. No, I get it. And we don't know how to work together. We don't know how to work together as a people. That's another big problem. Right, right. Very interesting. Hey, so you're LDS. What do you think about that big temple they opened over there by the Vatican? Huh. Right. They still let you use the basketball court, though, huh? Awesome. Right. Perfect. That's awesome. Glad to hear that, man. Absolutely. Appreciate your call, friend. Good to hear your voice. I don't think you ever phoned in before, have you? All right, you call us back. Yeah, great call. You have a good night. Take care. Yeah, I always was friends with the Mormons too because they got nice basketball courts. That's something they got. And good for him. 59 and still hooping. That means he's taking care of himself. So, inspiration out there. Let's go out to Nebraska. Just another day, man. What's up? I think you're making great points, friend. We're going to commercial. We'll be right back, everybody. We've got an hour and a half left. We're back, True Seeker. We got an hour and a half left. This is the Gematria Effect. I'm Zachary Hubbard, doing something a little bit different tonight, streaming on YouTube. Again, if you're in the YouTube chat, as it says in the description, which you might not be able to see on your cell phone unless you expand it, but it does say tune into tfrlive.com to hear the callers. And you definitely want to hear the callers because, I don't know, 80% of the show is probably the callers. So it might be real boring to just sit and watch me here in silence. But the reason I am doing this tonight is, again, like I said, eventually we're going to be going to a format where we are streaming on YouTube. And once we do that, you will be able to hear the callers. I'm going to have to make some adjustments because if I had that going tonight, it would be this echo effect back and forth all night. So I'm going to have to figure out how to get that right. And then the other thing is you can't hear the bumper music because then they'll shut down the live stream because we got the music that's copyrighted on playlist. Or not on playlist, but on YouTube. So the question of the night is, can we solve our problems with nonviolence? And overwhelmingly, so far, everyone tonight thinks it's going to have to be nonviolence. And it sounds like the consensus is so far that, you know, we probably can't take down this beast system that's in place, but we can figure out how to escape from it or live in peace within it. And I don't know, something about that just doesn't feel right to me. I mean, if you live in this world and there's this psychopathic murderer that's on the loose and unchallenged and seemingly unstoppable, do you just say, well, that psychopathic murderer is unstoppable. I'm just going to figure out how to be so kosher over here. Or I'm going to figure out how to go get on that island over there so that the psychopathic murderer can't get to me. I mean, look, the psychopathic murderer is all over the world. And I've said before, you know, the only way to seemingly shut down this beast system is for all of us to organize and stop paying our taxes and stop participating in all the consumerism and everything. But, you know, that's a pipe dream too. It's just like, I don't know. It's like there has to be some revolutionary act to inspire other people to take a stand. And I don't know. This monster needs to be slain, if you ask me. So I don't think nonviolence is ever going to get it done. And I realize the types of problems that would come if there is a violent action. Sure, more problems will come. But if the psychopathic murderer is not walking the earth anymore, that seems like a start. So, Nebraska, we went to commercial. Everything you were saying was brilliant, man. There's a million more people on hold. And I'm going to keep it moving. I loved your call. Sorry we got cut off with the commercial, but you made a lot of great points before we went to break. So let's go out to Shelbyville, Tennessee. How are you? Shelbyville, Tennessee? You've been waiting a long... Oh, yeah, you're good. How you doing? Very cool. I was just watching the Freemason tour video again in Washington, D.C., and they bring up the date August 10th. Washington, D.C. is set up to pay tribute to the special astrological alignment that happens every August 10th as well. So check out my blog. Put up a post about that this week. Very, very interesting you brought that up. Yeah. Well, great call. Glad we got you in before your cell phone died, man. All right, you have a good night. Be safe out there. Oh, go ahead. Hey, did you have something else to add? Go ahead. Sure, he speaks with experience. Yeah, he made some good points. All right, appreciate it, man. Have a good night. All right, next up, Richmond, California. How are you? It's going well, thank you. I had not thought about that last part that you brought up. That's very interesting. Well, that's perfect because basketball game equals 666 and the NBA finals equals 666. So how perfect. Hmm. Huh. Huh. Yeah, great observation. That is very interesting. Very interesting. 23 is the ninth prime. Right. Right. Sure. Weren't you the guy that was going to debunk Gematria like a month ago? Okay. Okay, but you acknowledge like how basketball game in the NBA finals is 666, and then that's weird that he wins his sixth finals making the shot with 6.6 seconds left. Okay. You had me confused. But anyway, friend, great observations. I got to go back and watch that clip as soon as tonight's radio show over. That's the first thing I'm doing because yeah, I don't think I've ever acknowledged that before that he made it with 6.6 seconds left. So it, and Bulls equals 66, right? Yeah, very interesting. All right, man. You have a good night. All right. Here's our other great New York caller. What's going on tonight, sir? Doing well, man. Well, do that. Do that. If that's what you're set on, I love hearing your decodes. Don't let me throw a curveball at you. Let's hear it. Hmm. 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 That was awesome. Very good research. So brilliant again, man. You always blow my mind. Of course. Do you have an idea how to raise the consciousness in the public? Right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right, man. You're absolutely right. Yeah, I agree. You're right on. It's a tall task to solve the problems we see in this world. So appreciate it very much, friend. Keep up the awesome work. Looking forward to that YouTube channel when it comes out. All right, man. Have a good night. Again, for all the people on YouTube, to hear the callers, you need to be at tfrlive.com. Then you'll hear the callers. And you really wanted to hear that last call, so I hope you did. That guy is just so good. Like I tell him every week, he's even better at this than I am. And that was more proof of it. Let's go out to Whittier, California. Doing well. Thanks for calling. Please. Right. And 34 is the ninth Fibonacci. You're at 99 minutes on hold right now, too, right at this moment. It's funny. Perfect. We're going to commercial right now, man. We're going to commercial right now. Awesome work. Welcome. Keep up the great work. All right, Truth Seeker, we got an hour left. We have a lot of people on hold, so I'm going to ask you if you can keep your call to about 2 minutes and just be on point. That would be awesome, so we can get to everybody. A lot of people have been waiting a long time. Right now, we're going Texas, Philadelphia, Montana, Vermont, Arkansas, New York City, Connecticut, Tennessee, North Carolina, Paso Robles, California, Anaheim, York, PA. And if you're beyond that, just sit tight. We'll be with you soon enough. So let's go out to Texas. Texas just happened to make a big donation, the biggest donation ever that I've ever received from the Super Chat. And Texas, I really appreciate that. So far, YouTube has not paid me a single penny. And recently, they said the problem is because my channel name isn't my legal name. And I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. All these other YouTube channels don't use their legal name. I'm pretty sure they're getting paid. So I switched my channel over to my legal name to see if that solves the problem. And so far, I'm still waiting. So how are you, Texas? And thanks again for your generosity, man. I did not expect that. So I still appreciate it. Very nice of you. You're very welcome. I really appreciate your call, and you were very concise. You didn't take up much time, so if there's any more you want to say, I'll give you the floor. But you're well spoken and your points understood. So Appreciate it. You have a good night, friend. You take care. Thanks again for your generosity. All right. Till next time. Yeah, I was thinking, hey, I thought I gave that guy a free book. So I was just surprised that he donated that much, man. That's a lot to donate. But I really do appreciate it. And now I just have to make sure YouTube doesn't steal it from him because, like I said, a lot of people have made donations. The evidence of the donations have disappeared on YouTube. And I haven't been sent anything. So Tim, keep an eye on that money. I'll let you know if it ever comes through. And for everybody else who's ever given me a super chat, there used to be a long list of them. Now when I go on YouTube, it shows like 5. There used to be like 100 there. Most of them were like $2, but now they're almost all gone, and they never came through. So I got to figure out what's going on there with YouTube and their gimmicks. And I do appreciate the generosity, though. Very generous. So let's keep it moving. Next up was Philadelphia. Thank you for your patience, Philadelphia. Philadelphia, did that work? Looks like you should be connected. Philadelphia, are you there? You've been waiting a long time. Philadelphia, I'll come back and check on you. Oh, hello. There you are. Perfect. Go ahead. Right. Yeah, I'm here, man. And the key of David equals 666, and the key of David's in reference to the Church of Philadelphia. So it is interesting. What I really think about with you bringing up Philadelphia and August 11th is how August 11th is the 223rd day of the year, and Philadelphia has Gematria of 223. So does the Synagogue of Satan, and the Church of Philadelphia is written about in regards to the Synagogue of Satan too. And well, like I said, man, I asked the people to keep the calls to 2 minutes at this part of the show because there's so many people on hold, and I know you waited a long time, but you got to hit the nail on the head then. Huh. Do you have this information posted somewhere? Okay, well, do me a favor. Get a blog up and get these notes posted somewhere online, and then let me know where I can share it. I'll definitely put it up on my blog. So I am interested. I think you've done great research. Um, it's just that tonight there's a million people on hold, and you made your point. August 11th, Philadelphia. Maybe they should be on the lookout too because they got the numbers. So, all right, man. Appreciate it. You have a good night. All right, take care. All right, let's keep it moving. Helena, Montana. How are you? Hello. Yes. How perfect. I gotta look that up. God, is it really 13? That's amazing. I did not realize that until you said it. So nine would be so fitting, wouldn't it, in the 99th NFL season? Right. Very interesting. Very interesting. Great observations, friend. Awesome observations. Right. Hmm. Very interesting. Very interesting. Wow. Now you're really hitting it, man. Great work, dude. Great work. Sure. Sure. Well, you've done great research. Don't forget Battle of New Orleans equals 99. It's what ended the War of 1812, which has a lot to do with U.S. history. So United States of America got the big 99 connection. It was. It was. If Drew Brees played Tom Brady, the two quarterbacks he would have faced in the Super Bowl are number 18 Peyton Manning and number 12 Tom Brady. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Check out Wikipedia. Everybody should look at Wikipedia. They have the conference champions up. Apparently, I checked it out today. It's true. They've listed who already won the games this weekend. Could be a Wikipedia glitch or not. So or it has the Saints as the winner. So yeah, check it out. Yeah, of course they do. Oh, of course they do. Hey, Color, I really appreciate it. Awesome observations. Keep up the good work. You have a good night. Yeah, of course. You're welcome. You take care. All right. Next up, the man with the plan. What's up, Dan in Vermont? Hey, I'm doing well. It's weird. The graphics aren't working on my end. Normally I can see when somebody's talking, but it shows that nobody's there, but I hear you. Please. Right. Truth be told. All right, I'll check it out. Appreciate it. You do the same, Dan. Really appreciate you out there, man. You have a good night. Hey, you want to plug your radio show before we go? Huh. Interesting. That's this coming Tuesday. And how do people listen on the web again? What is it again? Got it. All right, I'm tuning in. Thanks, Dan. All right, have a good night, man. All righty, we got 15 seconds till the break. We got 30 minutes left after that. We're going out to Arkansas, New York City, Tennessee, North Carolina, California, back to back, York, PA, and Young Dakota. Young Dakota might be our last caller tonight. Be right back, Truth Seeker. Welcome back, True Seeker. Final 30 minutes. Gematria Effect. If you're on YouTube, to hear the callers, you have to be on TFRlive.com. Otherwise, you're just going to be staring at me holding a microphone. And that is not fun. So let's go out to Arkansas, who's been so patient. How are you this evening? Arkansas. Hello. Just doing the show, man. What's on your mind? I agree. I agree. I think you're 100% on point. Right. Well, hey, caller, I can listen to you speak all day. You're right on point. When you finish that book, you got to come back on here, and I'll help you promote your book. And please call us back soon. You got a great mind, and I really appreciated your voice. All right, you have a good night. All right, take care, man. Yep. Yep. Great call right there. We got to keep it moving, though. We're running out of show. New York City, how are you? Hey, man. Okay, I'll do something on that before the weekend comes. Yeah, you're right to look at that. So good reminder. All right, brother. You have a good night. Be safe out there. All right, take care, man. Yeah, it's supposed to be this Sunday, January 20th, if I'm not mistaken. Let's go out to Tennessee. Hey. I don't think so. Oh, right. Right. This is in Malcolm Gladwell's book. Sure. I'm glad you brought that up. I used to think that way too, and it could be right. Yeah, I know exactly. I hadn't heard it called the 100th monkey effect, but now I know exactly what you're talking about. So I appreciate it a lot, friend. Get that channel started and call us back. I'm going to keep it moving just so everybody who's been waiting so long can get on. You have a good night, friend. All right, take care. Yep. Yeah, Malcolm Gladwell, and I forget if it's his book Outliers or maybe even the first book he wrote. I think maybe it's in The Tipping Point. He talks about this phenomenon in species. A small group of a species start doing something, and then all of a sudden, all across the world, that species starts imitating the behavior. And the question is, what is that? What's causing that chain effect to happen throughout the world? You know, monkeys on this island are doing it, and then all of a sudden, monkeys all over the world are doing it. How's that working? But there's something there. So it's that living network, that invisible network, like an invisible nervous system throughout all living things. Let's go out to North Carolina. North Carolina, you there? Oh, looks like sorry, North Carolina, I unmuted the person under you. I'll come back to North Carolina, but California, it looks like you're on. How are you, California? California, you there? Yeah, you're on. Yes, I can. What is? Okay. I understand your philosophy. I think along the same lines. So I was thinking somebody would say this before the end of the show, but I'm glad you called in and got that opinion out there. Right. I hear you, brother. I appreciate the call. I'm going to keep it moving, but I'm glad your voice got in because I thought somebody else would say this again before we got this deep into the show. So thank you so much, and call us back soon. Appreciate your thoughts. All right, take care, man. All right, let me go to North Carolina like I meant to. North Carolina, you are on now. North Carolina? I know I got you this time. Unless you're just listening tonight, but you've waited a very long time. All right, going once, going twice. All right, North Carolina, thanks for tuning in. I'm going to put you back on mute. Let's see. I believe it was Anaheim, California. You're up next. Hello. Please. Well, I hear your frustration and I understand your sentiments, and I go through the same type of thoughts every single day. And just what keeps me going is I don't know what else I would do. I mean, so, but yeah, it does feel futile sometimes, and sometimes it just feels like I'm a mice on a wheel, and I don't like that feeling. So stay strong out there, friend, and I appreciate your voice. Go ahead. You're welcome, friend. You have a good night. Appreciate your message. All right, take care. All right, we got 3 minutes left. Young Decoder, you're next in line. What's going on? Hey, man. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, your signal cut out for a second there. You're back. Yeah, you cut out again. You cut out again. But yeah, what you're saying is, yeah, we definitely don't have the numbers, but there needs to be a catalyst movement to spark a larger movement. So how many people does that take is the question. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're right on, Young Dakota. Appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. We'll be back next Wednesday. It's the end of the show. Be safe out there. Hope you appreciate the conversation. Have a good night, Young Dakota. Welcome. All right, YouTube. You know what? For fun, since I am on YouTube, if anybody wants to phone in that really wanted to get their voice out there that was on the line, if there's anybody who's watching this that was just on hold that I didn't get to, if you want to call in right now, I guess I don't need these headphones anymore. If anybody wants to call in who was, oh man, I'm talking loud. Not the headphones are off. I'm just like, wow, my voice is loud. If anybody wants to call in, the number's 509-731-0567. 509-731-0567. Or if not, we can just wrap it up right here. I had a record bad day for book sales today. 5 total sales. Oh, that's pitiful. Anyway, True Seeker, we've been going on long enough. Oh, let me see here. What's up, caller?
Hey, Zach. Yeah, maybe this will buy some time for other people to call in, but I just wanted to quickly add one last thing. I thought the question tonight was, is a nonviolent revolution possible? I noticed a lot of callers calling in tonight, and I noticed that they were siding with nonviolence. I mean, what does that even mean? Like, I'd prefer not, I don't know a single person that wants to, like, just die to die. But the point is it possible without violence? And like I said during the radio show, I don't think it is. So, for people who are, siding with nonviolence, I'd really love to hear, like, what is your position then? Like, I'd really love to know. So, it's not like we want to kill these people. That's not the point. I mean, sure, there's some anger and resentment there against these people for obvious reasons. But to be honest, most days I'd rather see some of these sheep go first. Like, to be honest, like, that's where most of my resentment is. Speaking of which, I think it'll be these same sheep that will want to fight in defense of their turn. I mean, this is how stars made in the game that we are. If you have any doubt, you just need to look at the people around you, right? And so, please, if people are calling in and they want to harp on this non-violent revolution, I'd really love to know, like, what ideas do you have to make that a successful revolution?
Well, I would say that the majority of people who called in tonight with the nonviolence thing were pretty much saying, like, essentially you can't beat this system, so you can just learn to live with peace within it. And the whole problem with that philosophy is then this system just continues on, and, unborn generations, it just gets worse and worse. And I mean, so it's just like, to me, this system has to be ended. And you're not going to end the system by living, finding a way to live in peace within it. So
basically what they're saying is because it's a war that can't be won, might as well not try. I mean, funny because I also feel like it's a war that can't be won, but at the same time, man, like, you're a man. Like, this has gone throughout all of history. You have to fight back. Like, this, man, we have no more men left in our society. That's the problem.
I think this war can be won, honestly. I think it can be won, but it's going to take a lot of people participating. That's the obstacle. It's like getting the people to participate is the thing. If the people were willing to participate and fight back, it would happen. But there's just so many layers of structure. It is a big if.
People are not even waking up to your work.
I know,
you
but
can't even wake up to that. It's just all hope is lost at that point. Like, we only have 100 people tuned in tonight, and this has been going on 5 years.
Well, the censorship's really bad. The censorship's really
millions.
Absolutely. The censorship's terrible. I mean, almost no one's getting a notification for my videos. That's why I had better views. I had better views in August. So
I don't think it's just the censorship, though. I think it's just the people. Like, well, censorship for sure, but
it's the people too. You're right.
People, it's not hard to search for Zachary King Herbert on YouTube.
This is true.
He has a radio show every Wednesday night.
This is true.
I don't know.
People wait for their notifications, though. People go to videos when they get a notification. So if they're not getting notifications, they don't look to see if the video's out there, unfortunately. Which is a lazy thing, too.
And I get that people are busy. We all live busy lives. But, I like I said on the radio show, it's just for me, I see which team I'm on, sadly. And, it's really disappointing, this team. So that's all I have.
I hear you, man. Keep the chin up, dude. I know being in the truth isn't always the most fun. All right, brother. Stay strong out there.
Have a good night.
All right. Yeah, you too. Take care, man. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of obstacles, but to me, it's like there really does need to be a fight to end the tyranny. You can't just say, oh, we got another caller here. I got the volume up as loud as I can. I hope you guys can hear it. Hello, caller.
Hello, Zach. It's me again.
Hi, me.
Sorry. My name's Austin, so it's Austin again.
Hey, Austin.
So I was calling again because so I was talking to my brother-in-law and trying to get him to realize that sports are scripted, and I said, just look at the Patriots-Falcons Super Bowl. 24 25-point comeback, the AFC's 25th Super Bowl win. Like
on 2/5 in the 97th season, right?
I'm like, and that is what actually woke me up, because I was actually a critic of your work for about a year and a half until that, because that is just straight up mockery, and these people just don't get it, and it's sad.
It is, man. It is sad.
I mean, well, the Falcons weren't in field goal range. All they had to do was run the ball 3 times and kick a field goal.
Right. It was exactly. Instead of drop back. I still remember the down. They got to 3rd and 33.
Yep. Oh, really?
Yeah, go back and look, man. That was the down after the sack and whatever else happened, the penalty. It was 3rd and 33. Go back and look.
Oh, wow. More mockery.
Right.
And so this was the very first year that I started to do my own decodes, and I wanted to get some advice, because there have been a couple of games. I think it was the Rams and the Eagles where I knew that a lot lined up with the Eagles. Yeah, but then I was like, I don't know. It just seems too funny to me. The Eagles have a backup quarterback. I mean, the Rams are at home, and then of course the Eagles end up winning, and that was my first thought was to pick the Eagles, but then I kind of went back on it.
Oh, you should have went with the Eagles, man. That was a clear read. My followers won a ton of money on Patreon on that game. We were all over that one. That was the pick of the week because it paid 6-1.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Easy read because the Eagles equal 113 and the Rams fell to 11-3. But
right.
I just thought it was too silly.
That's how it is, though.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly. Remember when the Bills beat the Vikings?
Yeah, and that was the 111 ritual. That was all about 111. Yep.
And I just mean, come on. I mean, the Bills were the laughing stock, and they just beat the Vikings.
Exactly. That's how they do it, though. And that's how Vegas makes big money.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I just do not know, man. I tell people at school that these sports games are literally scripted, and they just think that I'm a Looney Tune.
I know it, man. I know it. It's something else. And really, the problem is that these people are just, well, I just don't know how people don't see through sports. They're just such a joke. I mean, you don't even need the Gematria to look at the Falcons game, because just like you said, the Falcons they had a 1st and 10, and they were at the 20-something yard line, run the ball 3 times, kick the field goal, you're up 11 points, there's no time left in the game, you win the Super Bowl. Not drop back and get to a 3rd and 33 situation, and yeah, it's such a joke, man.
I am only 18 years old, and I can coach better than that. It's just...
That's the other thing, man. Exactly. Most people can. The decisions that are made in pro sports, it's just there's no way these people are getting paid millions of dollars to make these kind of decisions. There's no way.
And then this weekend, you know how they like to punk the Native American teams, like the Redskins and
Sure. On Christopher Columbus Day, both the Native teams got eliminated in baseball and the Redskins got slaughtered on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable. And then the Chiefs, they're probably going to lose at home because you know what these sick people like to do? They these poor people, they pay certain, however much it is to buy an NFL ticket, and just in the cold too. It's going to be cold, and it's just
Right. If the Patriots win in Kansas City, there's going to be a lot of depressed people. And before the season began, I said that I expected some big native theme in this season. Redskins equaled 99. Whole lot of 99 going on with the Redskins in the 99th season. The United States of America 99. I theorized before the season began that we might see a Patriots beating the Redskins in the Super Bowl. Well, now they get to play the Chiefs in the AFC Championship, just like how the Patriots came over here and stole the land from the natives. So, yeah, that's a good point about them beating the Chiefs at home in the AFC Championship.
But, if the Chiefs were to win somehow, if there was, another riddle, which is deep, and the Chiefs were to play the Saints, Is that kind of? I don't know. I'm liking the Patriots pick a lot more.
Oh, I'm liking the Patriots too. Tom Brady can get his 99th road win of his career.
Oh, really?
Yeah, go look at the QB win-loss records. Yeah, oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Arrowhead Stadium equals 99. Patrick Mahomes Jr. 99. New England 99. I don't think there's a more 99 place you could get it. So
scripted to a T.
Yep, it is.
And then I get often be like, well, how can they script it yard by yard? I mean, don't you ever watch these games and see where they place the ball? Like these weird spots. It's like 2 yards short of the first down, and they give them the first down.
Yeah, there are some weird spots. You're absolutely right.
Keep these games on point. It's just frustrating, you know. And I get that's a coincidence that Tom Brady got his 25th playoff win on 2/5. Right.
Yeah. And he became 5-2 in Super Bowls too. That day can also be written 5-2. He became 5-2 in Super Bowls.
Oh, yep, exactly. Oh, but did you know when the Giants beat the Patriots the second time, that was also on 2/5, and the Giants got the NFC's 25th win.
And Giants equals 25.
Yep.
Yep.
And wasn't that a date with the 39 numerology, if I'm not mistaken?
It was either that, I forget which, one of the games was on a 39 date numerology, and then the other one was in Indianapolis on the 39th parallel. I forget which was which now.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, so, well, the previous 2 times that the Patriots lost to the Giants.
Right.
39 connections. Wasn't that catch on the David Tyree catch? Did that start on the 39-yard line, or if I'm?
I think Eli Manning threw the ball from the 39-yard line, if I remember right. And him and Eli Manning both have the same birthday, January 3rd. And there's a few other things there. I'd have to go back and look at it.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
39. That is a big New York number.
It is. It is. Hey, caller, I appreciate it. I'm gonna end this up for the night. Got to wrap it up and call it a show, man. So I'm glad you're only 18 and on the path of truth, but just know it's a tough path because for most of your life, people will not be privy to it and they'll dismiss it and call it a coincidence and call you a conspiracy theorist. So make sure you got thick skin.
I do. Thank you so much, Zach.
All right. You have a good night. Take care.
You too. Bye.
Yeah, tough to be 18 and a truth seeker. That's how old I was when 9/11 happened. Then I found myself as a man on an island. And anyway, we'll leave it there. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. And be back next week.